The current flu season, one of the worst in years.
Dr. Jamie Friedman joining us now with how to protect yourself. Dr. Friedman, good morning and thank you for being here. My cousin, who very rarely gets sick, last week I found out she got the flu. I called her. She was crying. She was crying so bad. It's misery. What is going on that's different than what we've seen in years past?
Well, what happens with the flu, influenza is a very smart virus itself. So it can shift and alter its components so that it can trick the immune system and kind of fly under the radar. Yeah. So even when you have your flu shot, which protects for certain types of influenza, if the virus changes in between the time that it's been made and it comes around, then it can infect you and you may not have 100% immunity against it. And it's just a really bad virus anyway. I mean, it feels awful. And a lot of people will say that. I never get sick. I never get the flu. Yeah. You never know when you're going to get it. The flu virus doesn't care. If it's going to get you, it's going to get you.
Isn't it something that it changes every year and adjusts? It is very smart. The difference between the flu and a common cold, a lot of people may not realize because they think they have a cold and it turns out to be something worse when it doesn't go away.
Yeah. This is really important because especially this time of year, for parents specifically, they want to know when they should get care because normally for a cold, they know we're not going to really do anything. So a cold is going to be a very gradual onset, a little bit of runny nose, maybe a low-grade fever, and kind of get a little bit worse and worse and worse as it goes on before it gets better. The flu is like sudden. You're well, and then you're sick, and everything happens at once. High fever, body ache, sore throat, headache. Not as much of kind of cold-like symptoms, although there can be cough and congestion with it, but really it's just the whole body hurting, the fatigue, the fever, that kind of thing.
There was a story that I was reading that a 4-year-old went blind after showing those flu-like symptoms, and I think the mom came back afterwards and said, if you, the lesson she has learned and she's sharing it with other parents is get the flu vaccine. But would that have helped in this case? And that blindness from the flu, doctor?
Well, okay, so a couple of things. One of the things that always surprises me is that even though the news is always reporting every year how bad the flu is, it's amazing how many people don't really respect how really bad the flu can be. The complications of the flu are numerous, and so what this child had is encephalopathy. So her brain was swelling because of the flu. And so the blindness is because there's swelling in the part of the brain where you learn to see. So from what I could tell from this story, maybe that will recover, maybe that won't as the swelling goes down.
Permanent.
I'm not totally
sure.
sure.
From the flu?
It can.
Wow.
So there's a lot of complications of the flu. Pneumonia, ear infections, encephalopathy, cardiomyopathy,
I think people not necessarily taking it serious. It's a bit of a Chicken Little effect because we talk about it so much and it's hard to decipher, well, which is the real deal versus we're just talking about common cold. And so it's hard to differentiate. This is the real deal. Well, the flu that's happening right now is serious. We're hearing it from doctors, hospitals, emergency rooms, everybody.
Right. The thing is with this flu B that's going around that has kind of bypassed our vaccine for the year because it has shifted, also tends to affect children more often. So we're seeing a lot more problems with kids. To your point about would this be better for this child if she had the vaccine, there is good evidence every year that even if the vaccine's not 100% effective, one, some effectiveness is better than zero, but two, there's very good evidence that kids will have a much lower risk of complications, hospitalizations, and death if they get a flu shot. Yes.
Okay, my red flags are all going up because you're saying this. All of us who did get the flu shot and the kids, what do you do at this point? So the flu vaccine that people did get will not protect you against flu B?
Not necessarily, because there's another type of flu B in the vaccine, and there's also 2 types of flu A. So you still have some protection. The Victoria strain, you may not have full protection, so good hand washing, keep your kids home when they're sick.
Oh boy,
very
good
important.
Advice.
When
keep
are we
your
done
kids
with
home
flu season?
when you're sick.
I don't know, I'll let you know.
Oh my God.
Oh,
it's exhausting.
Man.
I'm washing my hands like crazy because of this. Dr. Jamie Friedman, we thank you as always.
Thanks
for being here.